But black is a state of mourning as well as it is a color. You always see, like in black, colors are always compared to something. This is why the Most High, when He describes the color of a man, He never names a person as a color. He compares them to something. Like in the book of Songs of Solomon, when he talks about the Shulamite woman of Solomon, he says it is as black as the tents of Kedar. So however dark the tents of Kedar is, that's what it's saying the color is compared to. In Ezekiel 1:27, when he saw the Lord, he said, from the loins upward, even from the loins downward, was the color of amber. So it's amber, the translucent color that's a dark brownish color, and color almost look like Malachi. It said from the loins down. That's what I saw the Lord at, because you're not going to see up here. And we're going to hear the Exodus to tell you why. Let's get some more.
The book of Daniel, chapter 10. Verse 5. Not only that, Daniel, like if he saw his feet was the color of brass, and as if it burned in a furnace.
Right.
What's the color of the rest of his body?
Absolutely. You think he half a
feet
person?
Can't be black, and then his face, or what you call Caucasian.
Moses stuck his hand into his breast when the Lord was showing him a miracle and pulled it out, and it became leprous as snow.
Right.
If Moses was white, it didn't go from white to white.
Right.
And then he stuck it back in, and it turned back to his other flesh. Moses grew up as an Egyptian.
Right.
He passed as Pharaoh's grandson. Don't you think Pharaoh know what his grandson looked like?
Right, he had to look just like this.
Huh?
So he had to look like
Yeah. We are like these nations in all colors, but we are not those nations. Just read this right quick and then we're going to move on. This is Zondervan. Y'all go to any Christian bookstore, this is the #1 pictorial dictionary that they'll sell. Zondervan on the back. It's great. I use it all the time. Billy Graham. The high tone of the work and the excellent illustration make this a prized volume. Christianity Today. Now they are using this, but they tell us every Sunday that we came from Ham because Ham was cursed black. How many of y'all ever heard that?
Ham was cursed black.
Looking at Noah's neck. But since they use this,
that's a lie,
and say that, we're going to see what the script say. I mean, it's a book how it compares to that we are Shemites. And we're going to see what Ham says in here. Ham,
meaning you're not an African.
Check this out. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor
or father
of the dark races, right? Not the Negroes, but the Ethiopians and the Egyptians and Libyans and Canaanites. So it separated us from the Africans, so to speak. But every African will never tell you they from Africa. You know any? Run in the store, go ask them where they from. They will never say Africa. They'll tell you what nation they from. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm from Kenya. I'm from Rhodesia. I'm from Ghana. But they will never say Africa, because Africa is named after 2 white men, Leo S. Africanus and Americo Vespucci. So when we say we African American, that's why they look at us like that. Y'all name yourself after 2 white men as your father. Y'all crazy.
Yeah,
y'all ain't got y'all.
That's a picture of what the Egyptians look like.
And these are Egyptians, so we know that they was very, very dark skinned. This are all their hieroglyphics.
And his brothers like Paul in the book of Acts that was mistaken for an Egyptian.
Right.
Paul told him, I'm a Jew.
Right.
How you mistaken for an Egyptian looking like Steven Spielberg?
The tribes of Reuben, or we call the so-called Black Indians. Out of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is what they look like. Not like Tonto, what you've been seeing on the show. No, it wasn't Tonto. Let's get some more of this.
I'll tell you also, though, when in that definition there, when it said not the Negroes, we only first called Negroes when we got here.
That's when we first called Negroes. It's a byword and a proverb. Just like Afro-American, just like black color. We the only people on planet Earth that carries another man's name. The only people on planet Earth that's carrying another man's name. And when you try to change your name, Muhammad Ali, what's the next words right beside it? Any Wikipedia or any AKA Cassius Clay. Elijah Muhammad, a.k.a. Elijah Boo of Sanderville, Georgia. See, we can't escape this captivity by a name change. It ain't going to happen because they know where we're from. They say, where your beginning at? Let us see your beginning papers. When they see Sanderville Hospital in Georgia, mother and father Leroy Jackson and mother Lucinda Walker, no, you can change your name. You ain't fooling the nation. Everybody else go and play for their nation during the Olympics, don't they? Then Dirk go back and play for Germany. Then Elijah Wan go back and play for Nigeria. Who we have to play for? If we Africans win, we gonna play for Africa.
You don't. You won't.
Do we ever? We the only people with 10 different names. Our name went by hairstyle. Afro-American. Wave American, Bald American, Dread American. So they're all bywords and proverbs. African American and black is no different than saying nigga. Because they all the same names of who we are not. The children of Israel. Carried away in captivity for our disobedience to God. We the only people fit the description. The white Jews ain't never been slaves to nobody. The Holocaust for them 2 years ain't gonna never be Deuteronomy 28. Never. Not ever. And they changed their own name. From Goldman to Goldstein to Rubenstein to Silverstein because they conquered all the wealth of the earth. Just like Genesis 25 and 24 say, when he got the blessing of the earthly wealth and Jacob got the spiritual blessing. So they mad at us because we got the blessing that all nations should bow to us and show servitude to the nation of Israel. But they done got us so backwards now that they look at us. I know you ain't saying these the people of God. Did you see what went on at the pink slip? How they was making it rain? No, those can't be the people of God. Did you see little Willie hanging out of their car riding by fairgrounds doing a drive-by? But they'll accept it when it's making money, when Jordan lead from the free throw line or Mike entertaining at a high level. But they didn't need Mike no more. They started to see Mike, them spins was starting to look like he had gum on his shoe. They were like, no, time to put him out the pasture. Let's get some more.
With praise to what Moses told us in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 6 and 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7,
verse 6. And this is telling who we are as a people.
To concur what Daniel just said.
And why we're called the minority all over the world. Understand this, Michelle Obama is an Israelite off the Robinson plantation. Her name is Michelle Robinson off the Robinson plantation. Barack is Barack Hussein Obama. His daddy is a Kenyan. They call him the Kenyan. He's not an Israelite. His wife is. Look at the story of the book of Esther. Esther was an Israelite married to a African king. This may be almost mirror image, y'all, what we about to go through. Never know why Michelle Obama is in the White House. Taking a few orders, but she schooled Barack. When he come out of law school, he was studying under her. So, like manners, and her uncle, Rabbi Funya, did know we Israelites, but don't believe in Christ though. He said, I've been talking to Michelle and Barack when they were living in Chicago, so they know we Israelites. Michelle and them already know. Look up Rabbi Funya. He's the second cousin of Michelle Obama. Let's get some more.
Rabbi Funya.
Which brings us to that Deuteronomy chapter 7, chapter verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
What are we?
An holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right?
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See, this sets us apart from everybody else. Don't make us better than nobody. But it's to the Jew first and then the Gentile. Romans 2 and 9, 1 and 9, 1, 9 and 10, and Romans 2:16, to the Jew first and then the Gentile. The order was go to Israel first and then tell the rest of the nations. The book of James start out to the Hebrews, to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. The letter goes out to Israel first, and then Paul never went to the Gentiles. Acts 18 is when Paul just had enough. He said, lo, I followed the order and came to you Israelites first, but y'all didn't want to hear it. So I turned to the Gentiles. They want to hear it. Christ had to say the same thing too, didn't he? When the Romans say, just say the word and I know my daughter be healed. Christ looked around. He said, I ain't heard no Israelites speak like this with faith yet. Right. But this Roman, he said, go home, your daughter healed.
And he was passing the Bible a few times. Then at first, he just kept walking past while she yelling and screaming. They had to get at him like,
that's right.
You got to say something to her.
Right. She was a woman of Samaria.
Right.
And they say, but we're supposed to look at them like a dog nation or below us. But the woman said, but the dogs will eat the crumbs of the table. They don't even want the bread you give them. This is how you understand Romans 11 chapter when it talks about the natural branch and the wild olive branch. The natural branch was brought down when it's up, so the wild olive branch was raised up. But don't boast, because if y'all glorying now because they were put down, think about it when they come back up to the top. The cream gonna rise back to the top. So don't get to boasting like they ain't who they are, because you see us dominating the penitentiary. But they love us when we run 110 yards in 9 seconds. When we control the wealth of this nation. How you 13% of a nation and you spend $90 billion a year on consuming and don't own nothing? Not nothing. So y'all, we have to understand who the prophecies in the Bible fit. They don't fit nobody else but the people sitting in this room.
Which brings us to verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number.
Because he was what?
Nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
That's why they call us the minority. He said he chose us because we was more than anybody else on planet Earth. He said y'all the least of everybody. They call us the minority today, right? We still 13-14% of this nation, but we 80% of the penal system. On papers, in jail, on parole. 80%. So ain't no fathers in the household. We have to understand that you can't lead a nation if the head of the woman ain't there. And women, we have to understand, you cannot put a man on his feet. He has to be standing up already. Now you can help him out of bad situations, help him get his child support caught up. But if you have to do this for him, you're asking for trouble.
Right. He goes back.
Because as soon as he get moving, he gone. And you gonna be mad or you gonna want control. Have my car back here. How long you say? Take you 15 minutes to get over there and get back with my car. It's gonna be problems, y'all. So we have to understand. You can get what's called a man, y'all. We gonna move on. M-A-N. He meets all your needs, not your wants. Or you can get an M-A-N, a mooching A-double-S Negro. You choose.
You make the choice.
Let's move on, y'all.
What was that? What were you just at?
Deuteronomy 7:6. Where we going? Mallory right now.
Using Daniel
chapter 10, another description of Christ.
17.
No, we're going to
Daniel chapter 10,
verse 5
and 6, and then Daniel chapter 7, verse 9.
Let's go Daniel chapter 7 first.
All right, Daniel chapter 7. Oh, yeah.
7 about 12.
Nah, yeah, we gonna read 9 to 12.
9 to 12. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. You said 9?
Yeah, Daniel 7, verse 9 through 14.
9 through 14. And y'all, we're going to see the descriptions of Christ. We have to understand, it's not about the outer cut. Understand this, the Bible don't talk about black people, white people. It talks about the spirit and the heart of a man, whether he be any color. But to Israel first if they obey.
Right, it's the facts of the matter.
To the Jew first and then the Gentile, honor and blessing. Cursing, punishment, and pain to the Jew first and then the Gentile, because we ought to know better. You and the white boy go rob a bank, guess who's going to get killed? when they locked Peter and Silas up, they didn't lock Luke up. Luke, the book of Luke was not written by a Hebrew, it was by a white boy. Luke was a Gentile. All he did was record the writings of the Israelites. When they locked Peter and them up, they let Luke go. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get some more.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Everybody get there. Look. 9 through 14, y'all. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The Ancient of Days. We got day 1 of Genesis 1 and 1. And he says he's ancient before that. He's been way before that. Ancient today, Ancient of Days. This is like he was over here and day 1 started way right here. He's ancient to day 1. Let's get some more.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
So we see here it talks about the Ancient of Days. He had a woolly afro.
Pure wool.
Pure wool.
Pure wool.
It's a sign of righteousness at its highest level as well. But it's giving you his description. Noah was born the same way. When you look in the book of Enoch, it said he was born, it looked at him like Iduma, but Noah was an albino. But it said he had Uduma. And you look up, Iduma means like a red afro, like somebody that we call today that may have leprosy or an albino. Go ahead, what you got, bro?
Where you said that was at?
In the book of Enoch.
You recorded the chapter.
I'll give it for you before we leave out of here. All right.
All right, verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him.
Right.
Thousands ministered unto him.
Right.
And 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
Right.
The judgment was set and the books were open.
See, we know who this is. The judgment is set and the books is open. All judgment have been put into the hands of Christ.
Right.
So we understand. Let's get some more.
Verse 11. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man.
Let's hold it right here. Visions. These prophets are seeing in visions. The script tells us about only a couple prophets that the Most High spoke to face as he would a friend. The rest of us get it like Malachi 1 speak of, and also Acts 2, that he'll speak to us in dreams and visions. He'll appear to us in dreams and visions. But a vision is so lifelike that it troubles you when you wake up. That it was so real, you know you was there because it actually has taken pain on you when you wake up. Ever been running in your dream? Anybody ever been chasing you in your dream? Tired as hell when you wake up. Because you've been running all night, a nightmare. You wake up and you just out of it because you've had a vision. See, we cannot see the Most High in this state that's full of sin. Because you know what we do? Be drawing pictures up.
Yeah.
We got some good artists down here. This Hebrew camp, Elijah in Israel. Brother Isaiah back there got skills with the pen. And when he be, and I want to say I had a beard like, ooh, okay. That looks like, that's him. That's him. And what we do, put it on a picture and then have it like this by the door when we walk out. Now we idol worshiping. And Lord, just protect me when I go out the door and have it. No, idol worship. Graven images. No images of Christ. Not even a black. Who gonna be the role model? Blue robes?
Right.
The ladies.
The ladies, man.
Go ahead, bro.
Alright, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven.
What did he come with?
The clouds of heaven.
Right.
And came to the Ancient of Days. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Who do you think they're talking about?
The Christ.
The Christ. Because the same thing to speak of in Isaiah 7th chapter, also Isaiah 9th chapter and 11th chapter. So we see that this is why the so-called white Jews won't go past the book of Deuteronomy, because the prophets are identifying how Christ will hit the earth and what he looks like.
Right.
I don't care how they twist them things up to look like some Shirley Temple flippity-doo. Them ain't the locks that the script was talking about. When you look up lock in the dictionary, it'll say a tuft of hair. Give me lock. If we got a dictionary, look up lock. Squiggly dudes. No, there ain't no squiggly dudes. Well, we got a picture of some squiggly dudes. So some impossible.
Squiggly dudes. Hair like lamb.
When he ain't got it, but y'all will see him standing in front of the railing wall. You know, sticking notes in the wailing wall. The only part that's left of King Solomon is praying to the wall like this. Christ ain't told us to do that. Not once. He told us to go in your closet, and when you shut the door, then pray to the Father. Our Father which are in heaven. They don't want to. They burn New Testaments in Jerusalem. Yeah. Better not be caught with one in certain parts of the Providence.
They brought in the Bible with you. What you talking about?
No, lock. Just the word lock.
Lockner?
Yeah, just L-O-C-K. It'll get down to the. It'll tell you the like a master lock, but it'll tell you a tuft of hair.
Oh,
okay. So y'all understand clearly that they were a form of dreadlock, or it was a form of braiding. Samson had 7 braids. It said it was woven. So it was like French, well not French braid, but how you take 3 strands and he had 7 long braids that eventually went into lock because he could never cut his hair. He was a Nazarite.
Oh, a Nazarite, you know.
All right, here we go. Lock.
A tuft, tress, or ringlet of hair.
A tuft. Now give me tuft.
Tuft.
See, the Bible interprets itself. We ain't got to help it out. As long as we use 2 witnesses, we can't never go wrong. Them the rules of the game. Because if you let somebody get 1 witness over on you, they can make it say whatever they want to say. Now, the 41 Leaf River Road. That is the new Ark of the Covenant. He said he should. You be like, wait a minute. What a second witness said on that? He ain't going to never have one. The Bible says 2 times it should be mentioned in the script that paint the same exact picture so you don't be led astray. Where there's 2 witnesses, everything must be established with 2 witnesses. And established, that means a foundation. If it ain't that, everybody else, Farrakhan, all of them going to name 1 scripture out of the Bible and go on off into their interpretation of it. Go ahead, brother.
The 2 witnesses that the law and the prophets. Right?
The law and the prophets. It's going to be in there. That's what Christ referred back to all the time. Satan, when he took him up to the high mountain in Matthew 4, what's the first thing he do? He tempted him with? Lawbreaker. If you be the Christ, throw yourself off the cliff. The law say he'll send angels to bear thee up. What's the first thing Christ say? The law also say I shall not tempt God. You think you got the Holy Spirit on you? I can walk. He said if I walk in the lines, then they want me to take yourself down to Big Cat Country if you want to. They won't have to feed them lunch. No, Christ tell us don't tempt the Lord. Don't think I can walk across Highway 70 if the shield of the Lord is on me. And I'm telling you, you don't understand how fast 55 miles an hour is until you on there changing the flat. When you ride, it look like you're on a 10-speed. But be out there standing and they go by 55. Pull your shirt out your hand. Let's get it over, man. Where we at? Tuft.
A small cluster of elongated, flexible outgrowths attached or close together at the base.
A tuft grabbed together. Look at dreadlock. Brother Nimshank right there. Nimshap in Israel. Brother Ariel. A tuft of hair. A lock.
Clump or cluster.
Clump or cluster. When you cut it off, what do you look at? Just a cluster of hair. They they can twist it all around, they can flip it and do it, they can surely temper it. It ain't gonna fit. It ain't gonna never fit.
They put glue in their hair now. They got glue in their hair now.
They put glue in their hair.
They got a gel glue that they sell in UC, something like that.
They don't naturally lock.
They don't naturally lock.
No, they don't naturally lock.
Nor do they naturally tan. And we want y'all to understand, there's no disrespect to anybody of another nation. What we're talking about is the prophecy that identify us. They're not identified by color. They're identified by prophecy. Who else on planet Earth been in the holes of slave ship and doing 400 years to a nation that would take on the symbol of an eagle? Look at the back of your dollar. Who else would be the tail and the nation above that would be the head, but yet this would be like a supernatural people? We the best at doctors. Dr. Ben Carson, #1 brain surgeon. Right. We invented the railroad, all these, the steam engine, the stop sign, all of this, but yet we on the bottom of the totem pole. Right. You think Benjamin Franklin them invented all them things? Yeah. How you gonna get a patent and you a slave?
He couldn't even like that light bulb.
He looking at it, he like, they like Timbuktu figured it out. He come running, how you do that, Timbuktu? See here, master, take these 2 wires here, put it in like this. Okay, you get those old shoes I had, and you'll get to eat in the big house tonight and tomorrow for your discovery. And he walked on down to the patent house, and he's discovered electricity.
Right.
No, we had all of that invention. That's why they came and got us.
Thomas Edison, he ain't discovered the phone, none of it.
Right.
Y'all have to understand who this people is. Now, we are the worst at crime, the best drive-by shooting artists, dice throwers, knife wielders, both sides of the coin. We take it to another level, y'all, but without understanding this, we gonna stay in the problem because love is the law.
Right.
How can you love a man and not know the law? The law tells you how to love. When he said he gave his only begotten son, he gave his love to the world. He so loved the world. He gave the world his law because Christ is the law. Right. He never broke one of them. Not a nary a one.
Not a name.
Not a name. Never.
Never.
So why would you bow to somebody or ask permission for somebody less? Right. Oh, the honorable such and such, such and such. Have you peeked through his windows on the other side of midnight?
Right.
Do you know what's taking place? And you calling him honorable? Right. You looking at any of us other than brethren? What Christ tell us? Y'all brothers.
Y'all brothers.
I'm the master. I'll wash y'all feet at the Passover. What y'all look like honoring another sinner like yourself? It's one thing about a man do a righteous work, but never look at him where you are bound to him like this. The most honorable rabbi, and this and that. Christ tell us called no man Holy Father. Right. That comes with the Pope. No man rabbi or reverend. Psalm 111 verse 9 and 10 called no man reverend. We brethren. Y'all sistering and brethren.
That's right.
Hell, because what's title gonna be in the kingdom?